Fence panels and posts do sometimes need to be replaced because of rot or storm damage. Not only do they look well untidy, but there's also the security issue to factor in as well. If you do spot a big broken bit, try to replace it as quickly as you can, because there's a danger if you don't, it'll take down the rest of the fence. So the job here, we've got one broken panel, which we're going to need to replace. We've got a broken post, which we're going to need to replace. And fortunately, we have a panel that's worth saving. Now, one of the problems that I've identified before I suppose we've even started is the fact that these panels have been nailed in, which you can do, but I don't like, because the problem is that it makes removing the panels particularly difficult, which is why I much prefer fencing clips. And we'll look at those and we'll use those later on. Here's a little tip though, if you have got a panel that you want to remove, or in this case you want to save, is just use a simple hacksaw blade to cut through the nails. For this particular panel here, I'm just going to use a nail bar like this, and it doesn't matter if I completely smash the edge pieces because of course we're going to replace it. However, using this here would be a whole other story, so that's where our hacksaw blade comes in. Let's give it a go. Obviously, whenever you use a loose hacksaw blade, always wear protective gloves. Check that the nails are out, then use a nail bar or crowbar to prise away the damaged panel. Right, Loretta, do you want to come in and could you hold that side for me? And I'm just going to prise that one off. Replacing a fence panel is quite a big job, so really you need someone else to give you a hand. Right, let's carry this one out of the way. Now we've got our old panel out, the one that we want to replace. This one, I'm just going to get rid of these nails for safety, the ones that I sawed through, and then pop it to one side to give me room to work. You may find it easier to remove the whole panel, but I think here it gives me plenty of room. Now I need to dig out the post, including the concrete plug at the bottom, and as you can see, I think the reason that this post rocks loose so quickly is because there wasn't enough concrete in the ground, nor was there enough post to go with it. So, spade time. That's the reason why, look at that, the minimum for a 6-foot fence panel like this of post in the ground is 450mm, 45 centimetres. It's not even half that. And look at the amount of concrete that's down there too. Dear me, no wonder it came out so quick. Once the old post is out, dig out the hole to the right depth. Width-wise, I'm pretty good. In fact, to be fair, a little bit too big, but then of course I did have to dig out the old post and the old plug of concrete. Depth-wise, I'm looking for a minimum of 45 centimetres. I'm about 30, so a little way to go yet. Right, well, we've dug the hole. Now we need to check that the post is going to finish at the same height as the other posts, and of course finish in line with the other posts, because we don't want a wonky fence. And that's what these two string lines are for. This one at the top here is simply strung over the top of the posts, and I can use it to determine the height of this one. The one at the bottom is simply there to determine whether or not I get my post in line. To make a plumb line, fix a piece of string sitting right across the top of your adjoining posts. This will make sure the height of your new post will be exactly the same height as your existing ones. Also, stretch another line across the front of your adjoining posts, close to the ground, to make sure that your post is properly aligned. Once you've dug down a bit more, check the post is sitting at the right height using the top plumb line, and then use a spirit level to check it's vertical. Okay, well, I'm happy with the position of the post. Now what I need to do is to get two props into the ground, and these I'll use to support the post so that when we put the post mix in the bottom, it doesn't wobble it free. Okay, so let's pop this one in here for the time being. If you can just sort of steady the post from your angle, just there. Okay. Secure your first prop onto the post by screwing it in position. Then check the post is vertical using your spirit level. This second prop ensures the post remains vertical in both directions. Make sure that the wooden props are fully secured to the post as well as the ground so that your post doesn't move while you're working away below. Okay, should be able to let go now. Perfect. So we've now got our post in the right position. Absolutely perfect. Get our post mix in the bottom. We'll start thinking about getting the paddle in then. Post mix is a quick drying cement mix that is specially designed to be mixed in the hole in order to secure your post. Read the instructions on the back of the pack as post mixes do differ slightly. Here we're mixing 5 to 6 centimetres of water to the same amount of post mix, building it up gradually. Do remember to keep checking the distances between posts with your guide piece of wood or tape measure to ensure that your post is not moving as you mix. When you're happy with the height of the post mix, it's a good idea to use a trowel and just create a little hill up towards the post. Just move the concrete so that the water doesn't collect by the post and potentially rot it. Now all we need to do is just leave it for 30 minutes, 40 minutes for it to go off, and then we can start thinking about putting the panel in. Well, our post mix is set rock solid and our post is in nice and firmly. If you have any spare post mix left over, make sure that you take it to your local recycling facility where it can be disposed of properly. Right, fence clip time. I've already done this side of the panel that we've retained, and it's quite simple. Simply measure down from the top of the post, put a mark, and then position the fence clip in the centre of the post, both top and bottom. Then all you need to do is to transpose those measurements round to the other side of the post and do the same thing again, and then do again on the opposite post. Then it's time to put the clips on and then get the panel in. Now it's time for the panel. Okay, now we should be able to lift this up and then just slide it straight down into position. Happy?
Yep.
Like a glove. Finally, screw in the fence clips on both sides to secure the panel. There, that's not so bad, is it? Now, fence panels like this come pre-treated. If you do want to put some preservative on, my advice is to wait until the wood has weathered down to this lovely grey colour and then pop it on. You may wish to add fence caps like these to the top of your posts to further protect them from the elements.